Hello.
We're so excited to be back with girls drinking wine and playing games tonight with Heckin Hounds by the lovely and talented Mattie Schraeder. Schraeder, I'm so sorry, I just mispronounced your name. I haven't even started drinking yet. This is going to be bad.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, we're thrilled to have you. So let's introduce our hosts, and then we'll get Mattie to give us her spiel. I'll start since I seem to be in the top today. I am Kirsten Lund. I am a designer and first-time publisher working on my board game Ovation, which is an engine builder where everybody becomes classical music composers. And today, in honor of Mattie's Underworld game, I have Take It to the Grave Pinot Noir.
Nice.
Very cool.
I like to be thematic with these. So lovely Pinot Noir from Australia, since I'm down under. Don't ask. I'm in New Zealand. Don't ask what time it is that I'm drinking. We don't talk about it.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's fine. It's fine.
Right. We're going with your time zone today.
Right.
How
All
are
right, and Miss Chidi, would you like to introduce yourself? And before Chidi's going to guide you along in the chat today, but we wanted to see her lovely face first.
Thanks, Kristen. Hi, everyone. My name is Chidi. I'm a game developer, an educator. So that spills over to my games, which are education science based. I have Birdweiser Games. It's a suite of games that uses birds to teach science. So I'm a self-publisher, and yeah, that's a little bit about me. And I'm drinking crisp white today in honor of Mattie and her game. So
Awesome.
I can go next.
Yeah.
Yes. I am Raven. I am designing a couple of games. All of them are centered around one of the big loves of my life, food. One is about macarons and assembling them, a quick, fast 2-player game. Another one is historical, set in Versa in the 1700s, about selling sweets back in the day and different class structures and who could sell to who, when. That's been a lot of fun to design, one of my more complex games. And today I don't have the bottle with me, but I'm drinking rosé in a mason jar because I'm classy like that.
Super hip.
Right. And Mattie, again, so happy to have you here today. Excited to hear more about Heckin Hounds and what beverage of choice you've brought today.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm Mattie Schraeder. I'm the designer of Heckin Hounds, and today I'm drinking a Moscato d'Asti. I think I pronounced that right.
Let's go with it.
It's a Moscato. I like Moscatos. They're good.
Sounds delicious.
yeah, I agree.
So should I just kind of get into a description of Heckin Hounds?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Heckin Hounds is a trick-taking game. And like most trick-taking games, you're playing cards into tricks and trying to win a trick. But in Heckin Hounds, you're trying to not win tricks. You're a dog walker for Hades in the underworld. And Hades is in charge, has a bunch of really bad dogs. And we have to walk these bad dogs for our underworld job. So we're trying to do as little as possible without being fired. That is the goal of the game.
Coast by, essentially. Do just enough.
It's being published by Sapphire City Games, and it is coming to Kickstarter late June. Hopefully, I have a date, but I'm not sure I'm supposed to say it yet. So,
okay.
Late June.
That's exciting, though. Late June. I mean, it's mid. I was about to say mid-August. Oh God, no! It's mid-May.
Yes, we're a little over a month out, and it's going to be really fun. I'm excited.
Yes.
Yes. And we've got the link to sign up and keep up with Heckin Hounds right there in the chat. So if you sign up, I know I've already signed up because I got to play this over Protospiel Online. But I was so excited, I wanted to bring it to the girls.
Yay.
So, Chidi, you're going to head to the backstage for us. I will. Don't worry, Chidi's not leaving us. She'll be there chatting with you. And then Mattie can give us the game, and we'll get that into the stream as well.
Perfect.
Yay!
Mattie, I'm curious, how did you, and of course, like we'll have more design questions later, but just like setting the game in hell and walking Hades dogs, like how did that even occur to you as an idea for a board game?
So it was originally just walking dogs.
Okay.
And my publisher came up with the idea, like, we needed a reason for walking dogs. Like, why would you not want to walk dogs?
Sure.
So the idea was to we had a couple of ideas, and we ended up going with walking dogs in hell, and they're bad dogs, and they're all, for the most part, actual bad dogs that are based on a real life dog.
Oh, that's cool.
We'll kind of get to that as I explain the rules and the theme a little bit.
Awesome.
So
awesome. And it's good that you're giving some love to dogs, because you can, if you turn around in a game store, you're going to knock into a cat game. But where's the love for the dogs?
Exactly.
I'm so glad
I'll go ahead and zoom in on a bit of the screen here. We have 7 dogs in the game. The biggest and baddest is the famous Cerberus, the 3-headed dog that guards the underworld.
Mm-hmm.
We have Deathpaw, who is evil Pomeranian. We have Palgrave, who is a Labrador Retriever. We have Sudachi, who is a Shiba Inu.
Mm.
We have Tom Dyer, who is actually my dog. He passed away about 2 years ago, unfortunately.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
That's his name's Tom Dyer in the game. And then we have Evil Mally. And lastly, Mops. So a little bit of description about the dogs. Mops is Marie Antoinette's pug.
Oh.
Evil Mally is Stephen King's corgi. She was named the Thing of Evil. She's famous for, she was banned from PetSmarts all over, I believe.
Wow.
And she likes heavy metal, so she has headphones on.
Gotcha.
Tom Dyer is famous for drinking out of the river Styx. He would frequently stop to drink out of puddles on the side of the road when I'd take him on walks. And he would also just stop walking when he felt like he didn't want to walk anymore, even if it was the middle of the street. So that was fun. Sudachi is the cousin of Doge, whose name is Kabasu, I believe. Kabosu. I'm probably butchering that name. Doge is famous for the cryptocurrency and the memes online.
Okay.
Palgrave is Putin's Labrador Retriever. And then Deathpaw is just all Pomeranians are evil. So we went with Deathpaw.
So none of the Queen's corgis. Robin asked if the Queen's corgis.
No, it's just the only Queen's dog is Mops, which is Marie Antoinette's. So the dogs there's a little scoring track down here. They're in order of how bad the dog is. Deathpaw is the worst, and Mops is the least bad.
Okay.
And we're going to be trying to do as little work as possible without getting fired. So what that means is when you do more tricks than you promised, you go up on this Employee of the Month track because you did more work than you said you would. If you didn't do as much work as you said you would, you will go down on this track. So you're trying to stay in the middle throughout the game. In addition, there's going to be an extra bad dog each round. And the shift leader, who I'll talk about in a second, gets to pick who the extra bad dog is. So if Deathpaw is the extra bad dog, that's what the little black cube here is for. Mm-hmm. And you take a trick with Deathpaw in it, each Deathpaw is worth 1 point on the badness tracker. You do not want points on the badness tracker. just like on the Employee of the Month tracker, you're trying to keep this as low as possible. But there's no negatives. And you just stay at 0. The other trick to this game is I'll go ahead and put a couple cards in people's hands. Is if you are the red player, you cannot see the cards in your hand. And if since I'm the blue player, I cannot see the cards that get put into the blue player's hand. So I cannot see the cards, but I can see everybody else's cards.
Oh.
So that is the first fun aspect of the game, is you're trying to play a game where you don't know what cards are in your hand.
I like there's already layers on layers.
Yes.
It's going to be fun.
The shift leader can see their own hand and everybody's hand. So to be the shift leader, we'll take turns being the shift leader. Each player is a shift leader once. You click this little arrow button next to your name, and you choose shift leader. As the shift leader, you'll be able to see everybody's hands. And the shift leader will give everybody clues as to what's in their hand. So I'm going to shuffle real quick and just pass out a couple of cards to the blue player here. The cards, you push F. The shuffle, you push Z. To select an entire deck of cards, you double click on it, which shows that you've selected the entire deck. And so the blue player, I can say a couple things about their hand using these clue tokens on the left side. You can point out the name of multiple dogs. So you can say these are both Palgraves, for example. Or I could say these are both Sadachis. And that would be 2 different clues that I gave to that player. Or you can point out the numbers of the cards. So I can say this is a 3 and this is a 3, which points out that those are both 3s. Or if you don't want to point out like multiple cards, you can point out a single card, but you have to point out both details about that card. So I could say this is a Sadachi 3 and give both tokens for that one card. Everybody gets 3 clues. One particularly mean clue is you could say, for instance, that these are both Palgraves. I'll go ahead and put these tokens back. And this is a Palgrave 3, and this is a Palgrave 4. That counts as 3 clues because you've given new information 3 times, but it's not very helpful, which might be a good clue to give in some cases because you're trying to not help your friends. You want them to do badly.
Gotcha. That was a question I was going to ask. It's like, are we trying to be helpful here?
You're trying to be as unhelpful as you deem necessary.
Gotcha.
Is the best.
Which I think is so amazing. I just love it. They have to give you information, but I get to choose how useful it is.
Right.
So, then we play a trick-taking game where the biggest card wins the trick. So if we play a bunch of cards and say this is the hand that was played, so a Palgrave 4, a Palgrave 3, and a Tom Dyer 2. Palgrave is the worst dog, so blue would win the trick in this case.
Gotcha.
And then the numbers break ties. So the number 4 is bigger than the number 3. So this Palgrave is worse than the other Palgrave.
Gotcha.
Let's see. So how this works is there's a shift leader cheat sheet card over here for the shift leader. The shift leader has a bunch of tasks they have to perform each round. The first round is to shuffle and deal the cards. So you'll pick up all the cards. And I'll go ahead and be shift leader first because it's just, I can explain what I'm doing.
Perfect.
I'll shuffle all the cards. And I'm not going to deal to the blue player because that is me. So I'll deal out 5 cards to red, which is Kirsten. And 5 cards to yellow, which is Raven.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll deal 5 cards out to the shift leader's hand, which is me. And then I reveal all the cards. So I flip them over. And then I choose the extra bad dog, which I'm going to say is Sudachi. So I move the little black cube as a reminder over Sudachi.
Oh, we can't be looking at your screen.
Yeah, you should be looking at your own screens at this point. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It was too small for me to see anything. That's why I wear the glasses.
This is a friendly game. I'm not too worried about it. Then we'll give clues, which I'm going to say... Ooh, this is tough. Giving clues is fun because you're trying to give people information without giving them too much information, but also trying to tell them what you want them to do. So I'm going to say this is an Evil Mally 3. I'm going to say these are both 3s, the Evil Mally and this card right here. And I'm going to say this is a Tom Dyer 2. And then over here we have 2 Sudachis. We have 2 number 3s. And we have 2 number 1s. So now I'm going to assign Cerberus. Cerberus is a trump card. Whatever trick Cerberus is in is won by that player.
Okay.
So you can choose yourself as the shift leader to walk Cerberus if you want, which I think I'm going to do actually. So I'm going to take a card and flip it over face down and remove it from the game and put Cerberus into my hand. And then I'll use the Cerberus token so everybody can see that I have a Cerberus over here. Then we have these 10 cards left behind. There's 5 cards that we don't know about, and there are 5 mopses. So we're going to mix the 5 mopses into the dead hand and shuffle it. And everybody has a chance to take 1 card out of their hand and trade it in for a chance at one of those mopses. Mopses are the best dogs because they're the least bad, so you're definitely not going to win a trick if you get a mops. But you only have a roughly 50% chance of getting a mops. And I am going to trade in. I'm going to flip a card over and take a card out. And I don't reveal it until everybody's had a chance to do this.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then we put the card I traded in and shuffle.
Oh.
And now Kirsten can choose a card to trade in.
Oh, yes, I was contemplating. I definitely want to.
Click on a card and hit F to flip it. And then drag it over to the deck.
Next to the deck or
next
in the deck? Next to the deck. And then I draw one of these.
Yep.
I don't get to see it.
No, you just put it in your hand. And then I will reveal it. Don't reveal it yet.
Oh, just kidding.
I'm not looking. I didn't see it.
Oh no, I broke everything. One sec. I put a card in. You broke it. Yep.
Okay.
I put a card in upside down.
Is this the final back of the card deck, or is that design still?
This is all the final artwork.
Okay. I really like the symmetry and the lines and whatnot.
Our artist Lauren Brown, I believe her name is. She is amazing. She did the Deck of Wonders, which was on Kickstarter last year. And I love all the art she's done for that. I love all the art she did for us for Heckin Hounds. She's awesome. Okay. All right. So now we've out. We've traded with the dead hand.
Mm-hmm.
So now we will reveal the cards in our hands. So now everybody can have an idea about what was pulled out. And we can take MOPS tokens to say what cards were traded in, which was that one.
Yep. Sorry, I was going to help.
And which one did you take, Raven?
This one.
That one. There's a MOPS.
Perfect.
So that might be a MOPS. It might not be a MOPS.
Right. Could be
find
something
out.
else.
So now we're going to promise to work shifts.
Okay.
So I will say I'm going to walk. I have Cerberus, so that's one for sure. And I'm going to say I'm going to walk 2 dogs. 2 shifts of dogs.
Oops.
Kirsten.
Yes, Mattie, could you give us a little bit of an up-close Robin-esque?
Excuse me?
Could you give an up-close view for the viewers? Yeah.
They'd like to see the beautiful artwork that is going on.
Right.
Right.
And I am promising shifts. You promised 2. I'm going to promise 1 shift. I don't feel like working that much today. Just going to drink my Pinot.
Yeah, there are 5 shifts in the round, and somebody's going to be working a certain number of shifts. We're going to find out.
So, wait, since you're doing 2 and Kirsten is doing 1, does that mean I have to do 2?
You think you're going to do... If the game plays out perfectly, 2 is a good bet, but you want to do less. So ideally, you would want to work less than that if you think it's possible.
Okay.
It's kind of a hard choice to make.
Right. I'm just gonna go with it. I'm gonna do 2 this time. Maybe next time I might do 1. Start and then pull back later. Okay.
So we've all promised to work shifts. So now we will play shifts, starting with the shift leader. So I'll play 1 card into the middle of the table.
Well, maybe we can zoom again to.
Yeah, I'll zoom in on
in the middle of the
board.
Awesome.
I'll look at you with your mops.
Yeah, I played a mops.
Leading with a mops. All right.
I keep forgetting people are watching my screen, so I got to be like more camera.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy, oh. I'll play mine as well. Oh, it's an evil Molly.
Ooh. So once again, I'm going to scroll down to the track here. So it's Mops, Evil Molly, Tom Dyer, Sadachi, Paul Grave, and Death Paw. So Evil Molly is currently winning the trick.
Unless... Wait, we don't want to win?
You want to win exactly as many as you bet. Do exactly
okay.
as much work as you promised.
Okay. So if I do this, then does that
wins
you win the trick.
Right, okay. I think that's not what happened here.
Yep.
But, okay.
So now what we're going to do is collect all the cards and put those over by Raven and flip them over and put a cube on it to show that you've met one of your tricks. And now you play the first card since you won the trick.
Aha. Okay. And so
I see a comment in the chat. Is there anything similar to shooting the moon in this game? There is. We'll kind of get close to that in final scoring. But if you manage to make sure everybody is fired at the end of the game, you can be the only person that won.
Ooh.
Well, that's Death Paw.
Yeah, I didn't know that was. Okay. Well.
All right, I got to zoom out to see what's in my hand.
I
need to win.
He does have Cerberus.
2 tricks.
Well, it's not guaranteed.
I'm gonna play Cerberus. So
dang.
I'll zoom in on the Cerberus card. There.
I'm going to give you Sudachi because Sudachi's a bad dog.
Oh, what a bad dog. Sudachi is currently trading cryptocurrency, and it's not going well for him.
Oh, no. Oh.
So I won that trick.
Is that a question about the goal, Robin? Everyone fired other than yourself? I think the goal is to be mediocre.
Yeah, the goal is to be mediocre.
Let's get on by.
Be in the middle.
Yeah, you want to be in the middle of this Employee of the Month track, and we'll see how scoring works after we finish this round.
Okay.
So I'm going to play an Evil Molly.
We're in a bit of trouble here, I think. Look at that. I see your Evil Molly, and I play an Evil Molly.
The trick.
What is this? Okay.
That's a death paw.
That's a death paw.
Not a mop.
You win another one. Not a mop.
Right.
So not a mop.
Whoops.
Much more evil Pomeranian.
Right. Oh my gosh.
So you've won your 2 tricks.
All right. Now I don't want to win anything else.
I didn't realize that. Is that true? Cerberus roughly translates to spot.
I didn't know that, actually.
Me neither.
That's great, Robin. Bringing the facts.
So Raven, you lead.
Yes. Apologies. All right. Maybe this one. Hopefully it's not another death paw. I was having my okay. Oh, but it's Palgrave, so.
But it's Palgrave. Well,
there's so many.
Well, this could be bad for me.
Uh-oh.
I was hoping you wouldn't play that.
I think it's bad for me too.
I'll play a Tom Dyer.
And I have to guess which of these is better. Oh. I've seen, trying to remember what I've seen. What that 3 could be. All right, I'm going to play the one. Oh, drat.
Death
Oh, no,
Paw.
that's good.
No, it's good. It's good.
Death Paw wins the trick.
It's good. I got my 1 trick.
I
For
was hoping
sure.
you were gonna play that one so bad. I was like, come on.
Yay.
So we'll
Okay.
put your cube on that.
Yep. And then I have to lead this one. Oh, a Tom Dyer.
Which works really well. Well, for me, I have a Tom Dyer with a 2. So it's up to Mattie.
And Mattie takes it with a Palgrave. Everybody
I
made
take
our
it.
contract.
This is good.
All right. So now we're going to score.
Okay.
And one thing I forgot to track while we were playing, which is a little easier to do in this game, so we'll kind of do it on the fly, is how many Sadachis anybody took. I got 1.
I might not have any.
I don't have any. I know I don't.
Nope, none here either.
All right, all the Sadachis were traded in. I didn't expect that to happen. So I have 1 point on the badness tracker, and everybody made their bid, so we don't move up on the Employee of the Month tracker. So right now,
all equally mediocre.
I am losing because I've walked the most badness of dogs.
Gotcha.
Which is the tiebreaker.
Oh. Gotcha. Okay.
So that is the first round of the game.
And then how many did you say there were? 5 rounds?
There's 3 rounds.
3 rounds. Okay.
Every player is the shift leader once.
Gotcha.
So now we just need to take the mops cards out.
Oh.
And Robin asks, is this game published or coming soon?
It is coming to Kickstarter on the end of next month. So if you are interested in it, check out heckinhounds.com. There's a mailing list that we will inform you the second the Kickstarter goes live. And when we have official Kickstarter date.
Are you getting extra sleep now so you can not sleep in June, or?
We'll see. I'm nervous. I've never done a Kickstarter, so
it's gotta be.
It'll be my first.
Yay! So, how did you get connected with Sapphire City?
They actually posted on a Facebook tabletop game designers group, and I took a swing. I pitched to them. I sent them an email with a sell sheet and a quick pitch of the game. At the time, like I said before, it was just about walking like normal dogs, and it didn't have the whole shift leader mechanic. It didn't have multiple rounds. It was just a very quick 10-15 minute game. And once we got the theme, I just ran with it, and it got so much better because of that. So Sapphire City's been awesome. A lot of the theming stuff James at Sapphire City came up with, and he's been wonderful.
Very cool.
Awesome.
All the dogs are his idea. And then Lauren came up with all the art for him. So
that's so marvelous. That's a really fun theme.
Mm-hmm.
Raven, were you going to ask a question?
Yeah, I was going to ask, when it comes to the dogs, both related to them and unrelated, when it comes to stretch goals, are you giving people the option to potentially add their own dog to their own copy of the game, or any fun stretch goals, or what all the good stuff be included in the base game?
I think we're going to have it be all the stuff included in the base game. We might have some stretch goals to improve some of the components, better card stock, better tokens. But it's Sapphire City's first Kickstarter as well.
Gotcha.
So we're kind of keeping it as
straightforward.
Very straightforward, very, very basic.
That makes sense. I hear stretch goals can get pretty crazy the more you add in there.
Definitely.
And from what I understand, you have to really manage how they impact shipping. Because if you miscalculate that, you can thank yourself. So that's the part that makes me the most nervous as the first time. But making sure.
We want to do it right. We want to make sure our backers are happy. So we don't want to overinflate the Kickstarter too much.
Mm-hmm.
Robin's loving that banner image on the website. Who is that character?
That is Hades. I don't think I have a screenshot of Hades on here. Let me. HeckinHounds.com. So this is the. Can I get that image out?
Amazing. Love her.
Very nice. Yes.
She is awesome. I absolutely love her. That's Hades, our goddess of the underworld. And it is her dogs that we are walking. And she's just awesome. The rulebook is partially written in her voice, and we're going to have her as our Kickstarter video voice actress. So
nice.
Oh, cool.
It's like a very thematic video.
Yep.
It is. Fit and soggy. It is awesome.
Right. I concur. Agree.
All right. So does one of us then have to become the shift leader?
So the shift leader will rotate clockwise. So that would be Kirsten.
All right.
So if Kirsten wants to jump to the... Now, this is going to be kind of weird because it's with more players than 3. It's you're still technically sitting where you are over here on that red spot, even though you're the shift leader.
Gotcha.
And in the physical game, you won't get up and move your seat. But I couldn't really do that in Screen Top, unfortunately. So whenever it's your turn to take a card, play a card, you just have to think about where you're sitting.
Okay. So am I dealing one to each person?
Yep. And just don't deal to the red player.
Yep.
I do like, Mattie, that you have this in Screentop. This is the first time I've used this software before. And it's nice that it's, because I'm assuming if you're at like conventions and having others play it, there's not that barrier of do you have TTS or not? And if you don't, then, you know, oh well.
It's been really great for it's a little bit weird in the tabletop simulator playtesting groups because everybody's used to tabletop simulator.
Right.
But when I'm playing with new people, it's nice just to teach them Screentop and not have to teach them, and not have to have them buy a copy of Tabletop, and also not have to fight with the physics of Tabletop Sim.
Exactly.
I reveal them and then I choose the bad dog.
Yep. And the bad dog will be...
Hold on, I was still flipping. Give me a moment.
No worries. I was zooming the camera in over on the score sheet.
Perfect. Mattie, would you say usually people pick the dog that appears most often as the bad dog, or not necessarily?
Not necessarily. I mean, that's a good strategy. Another strategy is to just pick one of the worst dogs in the game.
Gotcha.
Because then by winning a trick, you're also walking badness.
Right.
We shuffle? Oh, we must have. Okay.
Another strategy is to pick one of the easier to walk dogs, because then you can use them as my friends call them grenades to kind of bomb a hand that you're not going to win because you're passing off the badness to whoever wins the trick.
That makes sense. I see.
Oh,
different strategies involved.
Yeah. There's not really one like defining strategy, which is nice.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to say, oh heavens to Murgatroyd. I'm gonna say Sudachi again.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay, now I have to give clues. Okay. So Matt, do I have to go in order or does it matter?
Let me zoom in again. You can give clues in whatever order you deem necessary.
Whatever order I'd like. Okay.
I usually just pick a player and give them 3 clues, and then pick another player and give them 3 clues.
For those, there's my 4s. There's my 3s, 2s, 1s. There's my. Okay. I'm gonna tell you that these are 4s.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yes, you do have to point out
snapping?
all of the same number.
Yeah. This is a 4 evil Molly.
Okay. And then one more.
Yep.
I mean,
yep. I'm thinking.
Show me where the dark paws are. I feel like that's a good clue to give to another player.
This is a 4. Who's that?
Tom Dyer?
Tom Dyer? Yeah. This is a 4 Tom Dyer.
Gotcha.
And now my mystery.
And now yours. This is really challenging me, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. And I think it's partly how the cards went out. We'll chat about it after when I can tell you what I'm looking at. And you could tell me if I should have done something differently.
No, it's
And of course the
interesting
viewers-
because now our viewers get to see what it's like to be a player as opposed to the shift leader who knows everything, because it's a very
Right.
different
Yes.
game when you're the shift leader.
And I really need them right now to tell me what to do. But that's okay. Let's see. Shoot. And it has to be 2 cards that I clue to.
If you give a clue to one card, it's both pieces of that same card.
Right. All right. This is a 3 Tom Dyer, wherever he is. Nope. There we go. These are Tom Dyers. And what to do? This is a 2 Sudachi. This, am I getting this right? No, that's Bogre.
Sriracha
Right.
is the one right here.
There we go. There we go.
All right.
Do with that information what you will.
Not sure how I feel about that.
Right.
I'm going to good. Then maybe I'm doing something right after all. I'm going to give Cerberus to Mattie.
All right. I'm gonna get one of these cards I don't know anything about. And Cerberus is up there.
Okay. So we can, and now in turn order, so it would be me. I can,
Yep.
oh yeah. All right, I'm going to get rid of this one and grab this one.
Take a Mops token. Well, you probably don't need. You should take a Mops token for the rest of us, so we know what.
Yes, indeed. This might be a mouse.
Right. You know, there's a chance that they may or may not be a mob.
And then it would be Raven.
Okay, I will see. Wait. What that? This one.
Okay, and that might be a mouse.
Oh, how do you shuffle again?
Z. Double click to pick up the whole deck.
All right, so here we go.
There we go.
There we go. Let's get rid of this other card I don't know. And maybe get a Mops.
Mm.
All right, so
Okie
now
dokie.
we reveal our trades. And we promise
sorry, I
4
did.
shifts.
Okay. And do I start again as shift leader?
Yep. The shift leader always starts.
Okay. So. Better to go under, but I think I'm going to take 2. So I'm saying 2.
Mm-hmm.
Raven?
I'm just gonna take 1 and hope that's okay.
So I know I'm taking 1 for Cerberus.
Right.
And I think I'm just going to stick to that.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay.
I'm nervous.
Me too.
That is better to overwork than underwork, because if you underwork, you get fired at the end of the game.
Oh, okay. No one wants to get fired.
But so bidding low is usually a good thing, which is kind of what I'm going for here.
Lead in with the mops. I
Oh.
succeeded in getting.
All right, so Raven follows that.
That's one that could be a month, or maybe I'm gonna try. Oh, okay, it wasn't, but it's not. Could be worse.
All right, so that's an evil Molly. All the cards I have are bigger than that, except my maybe mops. I'm gonna play Cerberus.
Okay.
All right.
And I have to lead with something. I'm going to lead with Sadachi.
Okay.
So now it would be Kirsten following because she's red.
Okay. I'm going to have to walk some bad dog. This was bad on my part. I had a hard time picking the bad dog. I'll go ahead and do that.
And then
I think I'm in trouble, though.
I'll go ahead. I'm going to do one of my... I want to do one of my unknowns. I'm also afraid to do it.
What is a death paw? So
The death paw, so you're pretty safe.
Right.
But it could be a bigger death paw. There's 2 bigger death paws in the game.
Okay.
That's
Thankfully, it was not.
Okay, so that is 2 Sadachis. So Kirsten goes up 2 points on the badness tracker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm in a lot of trouble here. Not gonna lie. All right, so there's one trick. I'm gonna go for it.
Oof. All right, I'll then go with.
So it'd be me next.
Okay.
Oh, what
No, you're right. I was wrong.
Okay. I was like, wait a
It's
minute.
the screenshot VV.
Screen top. That's the one thing I don't like about my setup for screen top, is it gets confusing.
I think. Okay. Molly.
Ooh.
I don't know if I'm gonna get my one. I'm starting to get a little.
Oh no! I win that trick.
Oh no.
That's what I was hoping for. But
Oh,
no
I was
Sudachi,
so hoping.
right?
I was like, there's only like a couple cards that could top that. Tom Dyer. So now it's Kirsten.
Oh, is it me?
Yep.
Oh, it is me. Oh, shoot. I think I have to do this. Clickety, clickety, clickety.
Oh, sorry. Oh. Only that's better. I swear this is a new setup, and so my regular keyboard is quiet, which is what I prefer. But
I love my clicky keyboard.
yeah, it is fun. Sometimes I forget that I'm a loud typer though, so sometimes it doesn't mix very well with maybe this one.
All right, that's that trick goes to Kirsten,
Yep.
and she worked another Sadachi.
Oh, that was the last thing I wanted. I've walked way too many. Oh, dang it. That did not go the way I needed it to go. All right. I thought for sure. Well, that's it. I know what's going to happen with this one. So just throw it on out there. I take another one and another pseudo. The only thing I thought I could throw.
No.
You guys had such low cards.
Mm-hmm.
Do I go
And it
down?
was like I couldn't.
Yeah, so Kirsten and I go up on the Employee of the Month track, and Raven goes down.
Oh, no.
So after
Apparently
round
Maddie's
2,
winning.
I'm currently winning. But anything can happen with the last round of the game. So now we just have
That
to
is
find
true.
all the mopses.
I just need no more bad dogs. That was so tough because you guys had everything you had was lower than me except for the Sudachi. And I thought I can throw that Sudachi if it goes right. But otherwise I could have taken everything.
That's
having to name a bad dog.
Yeah. At that point you're just betting, like if you bet you're gonna take all the tricks, you're guaranteed to, like, your best bet is to say like Mops is the bad dog.
Oh, okay.
Because then there's the odds of there being a Mop, but then that means everybody's going to trade for a Mops because they're going to try.
Gotcha.
It's plots within plots.
That was what was tricky for me, was that how low you guys had your cards, and I thought, it worked out because I was hoping that you would throw away low ones, which you both did.
Really?
With the lack of information I gave you, I was hoping you'd throw away low ones. So it worked a little bit, which is how you ended up taking that extra one.
Yeah.
But if I said 5 going in and Mops, you think you would have? What would you have done? I don't know. It was really interesting. I love that part of the game. I mean, I love lots of parts of the game, but that is such an intriguing part of the game to me. Is when you're the shift leader and you're trying to decide about the clues and what you want them to translate from those clues. Which is, like I said, I wanted you to throw away those low cards. I wanted you to get some higher cards to take some of those tricks away from me. And hopefully Sudachis, which didn't work. I'm the queen of bad dogs right now.
So Robin has a question. How do you determine who is winning if the goal is to be mediocre? Well, on the Employee of the Month tracker down here, the goal is to be in the middle. And if you go at the end of the game, if you go under, then you get fired. If you, I'm just going to go ahead and move Kirsten up one more space in the Employee of the Month tracker for now. Say this is the end game scoring. Then whoever did the closest to the middle is the winner. In this case, it's me. 1 second. Excuse me. And then if that game ended right now, since we're both tied on the Employee of the Month track, Raven would be fired, but then I have walked the least bad dogs, so I've done less work than Kirsten, so I would be winning right if the game ended right now.
Gotcha.
But since there's one round left, Raven is going to want to bid one more than she actually gets, because she wants to have her she wants to go down, she wants to go up on the probation track to get back to the middle.
Right.
Meanwhile, Kirsten and I want to bid over what we think we're going to get, so we go down.
I see what you mean.
So it's tricky, as Robin said.
All right, I will sit down and put on my little shift leader hat.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on it after you've done it, Raven.
Okay, and so
I love that Robin said, aha, tricky.
Right.
So was that an unintentional pun or an intentional one? Either way, I loved it.
Nothing like a good or a bad pun. I think they're one and the same. Good puns and bad puns. All right, so I start off with giving everyone a card and going around.
Darn, jeez. Watch so many of them. So, GG, how easy is it to program?
Excuse me?
The screen top GG, how easy is it to program?
It's a little bit harder than I would rank it harder than Tabletop Simulator because making the deck takes a little bit of programming knowledge.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But there's a really good tutorial on their website, and they're making it easier and better every day. So it's getting better, but it's a little bit harder than Tabletop Sim right now.
So we're over promising and under delivering is the goal. Move
Yes.
down. Okay. Gonna over promise and under deliver. Maybe. That's what I'm gonna try. All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna give Cerberus to.
We do the clues first?
Yeah, give clues
the
first.
clues first. Okay. Let's see. I'll start.
And choose the extra bad dog before you give clues, because that'll kind of help you give clues.
The extra bad dog will be
apparently my best friend. if tradition holds.
I was gonna say I almost wanted to be Zadachi again just because it's a running trend in this game, but I also want to mix it up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and make it Deathpaw. Will be the extra bad dog. Okay, and so Mattie.
Tell me all about my death paws. I want to know.
Yeah, that is a card. I may not tell you about those. All right, these are threes. This one is a 4. Sudachi, and then put myself in a little corner here.
Well, for the third clue, you can be mean and just tell me what one of those threes is.
I was thinking about that. I think actually, you know what? That wasn't a 2. It was a different number. Don't worry about that. I'll give you. This is a Palgrave. There you go.
Okay.
Okay, and then Kirsten. Here are 2 1s. Here are. This is a 4 Dwyer. And then can I do, if I say another one that's the same number as one I already did, does that count as a third clue? Assuming it's not the ones, like, because the ones are complete, but.
Yeah, you can give I think I know what you're saying. Yes.
So like if one of these happens to be a 4.
Yes.
Right. Which it is. So there is that clue.
As long as you're giving new information with each clue, it's completely valid.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
So
who gets Cerberus?
Right.
Remember who's winning. And who's trying to under-deliver.
Given
I might have a motivation for that, of course. Don't trust me. There's a reason I'm in the underworld.
Oh man. I am going to, I feel like you might like to have this card, and so Mattie, Cerberus is all yours.
All right. So I'm getting rid of this and taking Cerberus.
Okay.
And so, and now we do mops with
swap for mops.
Right. I will definitely be doing that. And I will get rid of this one. Here, and then double click to hold the whole thing, and then okay. And all right.
So then Mattie gets to.
Let's see if I get lucky.
Right, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. Whoops. Anyway. Okay.
All right. And now I will flip those.
This might be enough. Might not be enough.
Okay. And then now we decide how many. I feel like I've made a terrible mistake. It's
I
okay.
understand that
It'll be
feeling
fine.
completely.
Oh,
Oh my
man.
goodness. That's hilarious.
I'm gonna go for 2. And call it actually. Man.
Remember, you want to underbid, but overwork.
Right. By 1 ideally.
By 1 exactly.
1 exactly. I think I can make this work. Just have to be really careful. Okay. I'm gonna yes. This is what I'm gonna go with. We'll see how it actually works out. But okay. And so now, Mattie, you get to decide.
I'm definitely walking 1 because of Cerberus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay.
You think you're going to take 0 then? That's interesting.
Make it 2. Make it 2.
No, well, don't you have Cerberus? You have to take 1.
I have to take at least 1.
Yeah.
So I'm think,
sorry, I shouldn't have reminded you.
I was debating before you said anything.
Mm-hmm.
And Raven thinks she's going to take 3. So that means when it's 1, I will claim 2 and see what happens.
Sorry, probably.
All right.
Good move.
I don't know. This is interesting. All right. I just love that part, Mattie. It's just it makes a little
It's so
hamster in my
different
brain
from a normal trick taker and how you bid your tricks.
Right.
And I like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I'll kick us off with.
I should have kept my mouth shut, and then you would have.
I would have been screwed.
Yeah.
Off with an Evil Molly.
Evil Molly.
Oh, it's me.
It's you.
Is it a mops? It's a mops.
It is a mops.
I was
I'm
so
probably
sure
taking it. Yes. Okay. That's a high one, so that's good.
And no death pause.
No death pause. How do I get the whole stack?
Double click.
Yay, thank you. All right, there's 1 trick. I don't want any more. Okay. That would be great. Hey, it's a mop. I'm not taking that one. A 1 mops. I am not taking that trick. Guaranteed.
This is you'll figure out why I said what I said beforehand. I'm gonna go ahead and play this one.
Oh no.
Uh-huh.
Dachi.
Okay. So Raven gets a bad dog.
Right. B.
How do I? There we go.
No, I'll just grab them all individually. Okay. And then I'll kick us off with another. Oh, I'll do Table Molly.
Oh, it's me. I don't like
It
being
is.
second. Palgrave.
Okay.
Oh, that was a mistake.
I'm offloading Tom Dyer.
Oh no.
It's fine. We'll see what happens.
I have to hope these ones don't. Oh, that's okay. Raven wants to take.
Tom Dyer.
Right?
Indeed I do, but I don't know.
Oh, Sudachi. I don't like them. They've been bad to me.
So I will go ahead for this guy now.
Woo! Another bad dog.
I know. See, and there were. I have things to say after this round. And then last but not least,
Everybody gives them to Cerberus.
right?
Yep.
Woohoo!
So I got my 2 tricks I bid, which is not what I wanted to happen, but oh well.
You get to be upper management. I get to be mediocre.
So
I have 2 bad dogs.
Kirsten
so.
goes down.
Yeah, I tracked it for you.
Thank you.
And
oh no! I
Raven
still
goes
lose.
up. And Raven is lower on the badness tracker, so Raven wins.
Did she go up? No, she didn't.
I had 2. Yeah.
She met her 2.
She met her 2, so she doesn't go up. Okay,
I
my
just
bad. My bad.
in probation.
Okay.
So, Mattie, do you win?
So at the end of the game, the first thing that happens is whoever overworked the most gets named Houndmaster, and that's a bad thing because Houndmasters don't last very long.
Oh boy.
So I become Houndmaster, and I probably get eaten by Cerberus. Unfortunately, Raven gets fired and is no longer able to walk Hades' doggies.
Oh
And Kirsten wins. She was the most mediocre.
I'm mediocre. I'll drink to them.
no! How many times can you say you're mediocre and like cheer after that? Like this is.
I know, right?
Right?
Oh man.
Oh, Robin was able to sign on with the second email bot. And Sapphire probably thinks you've drunk too much wine, Mattie.
Yeah, I'm lightweight. This is my third. I'm on my second glass, and I'm already done. I'm already done. So
Already having trouble putting words together.
Oh my gosh.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So what were you going to say, Raven? You were going to talk about.
So yeah, I was
those
going to
decisions.
say there were other death paws in the beginning of the round, and then they were gotten rid of in the mops exchange. So I had 2 death paws left, and I'm like, well, now this completely, something like that.
I noticed that Mattie gets both death paws. I went, uh-oh.
Well, when you don't tell me about a
Changes
card,
everything.
I'm gonna probably get rid of it because I would rather, like with the Cerberus, I would rather know what Cerberus was.
Right.
And I'm assuming there's a reason you didn't tell me about that card. So that was my strategy. It doesn't always work. But...
Which is interesting because last time in the previous round, I purposely didn't tell you about it, hoping you'd ditch those really low cards, and you totally did. But if you get wise to that's what I'm doing,
yeah,
then you got to change it up. So Stoic Hamster has questions here. How does the clue giving work in the physical game? How do you keep track of which clue goes with which card?
So in the physical game, there will be card stands. We're still working out what the card stands are going to look like, how they're going to. In the prototype, it's just a plastic stand that you can slide cards into. And you put clues in front of the stand, so you can kind of look over the hand and see where the cards line up with the tokens.
Gotcha.
And then Robin was saying she wasn't here to hear what the death paws do.
Oh, the death paw is just the extra bad dog that round. They're just like the other dogs. They're just the worst of the bad dogs.
And they're also highest in rank. So yeah,
right.
So death paw is always the worst dog to walk, with the exception of Cerberus.
Indeed.
This is the publisher. Hi, Sapphire Parlor. Ringing in. That's who told you you'd had too much wine, huh? Uh-oh.
Yep. I'm being shamed.
This is a judgment-free, shame-free zone. Everyone can
That's
have as
right.
much wine.
Everybody lets me drink no matter what time of day it is here in New Zealand. So we don't shame. We don't shame here. So Mattie, were you able to playtest this when it was Walking Doggos in the real life world before everything went crazy? I know you've playtested lots in digital world.
I've been working on this since 2017, I want to say. The first prototype, I actually have a photo of the first prototype that is
peek behind the curtain.
I printed out cards and I made cards in Google Docs and printed them out and slid them behind in card sleeves with magic lands. And it's the cheapest, quickest thrown together prototype I could do. And that first playtest I played at a board game night in Quincy, Illinois with some friends in Quincy. And it went... I knew I kind of had something that night because it was fun, but there were so many issues that we found on that first playtest. Like, it was unplayable at first. But it was fun. And then I've been working on it ever since. So most of my playtesting has actually been in person. I've done less online playtesting.
Okay.
Switching to online playtesting has been a challenge, especially for this game because it's so physical. It's so very much like pointing at cards that are in people's hands and moving tokens around. And there's just a lot going on that it was hard to find a platform that really did the hidden information well. And that's what I like about Screen Top.
Yeah, what's the playtime in real life? Because I feel like it definitely is added to in the digital world.
It's about 15 minutes a player. So it's a little bit slower online because of just the fiddliness of it.
Yeah.
But we still played it in about an hour after teaching, which is about what I'd expect.
Okay.
Awesome. Robin has a question.
Is this based on a true story about a job I've had? No. I did have a dog. Tom Dyer was my good boy a couple years ago, and we would go on walks, and he was always a bad dog to walk. He would just get tired and just sit in the middle of the street. And I'd have to pick him up and like carry him home because he just would refuse to keep walking. And he got better as he got older because of just more exercise and just getting used to it. But that was always the struggle with him. And when I was coming up with a theme for this game, originally it was just colors. And then my fiance at the time came up with why not doggos? So it became doggos, and it's kind of stuck. And I love the Hellhounds story that James added to the mix.
It's so fun. Do you have a favorite dog? You're allowed to pick favorites.
I feel like I should say Tom Dyer's my favorite, just because he's so personal to me. But yeah. I really love Sadachi. Sadachi is probably my favorite of the 6 main dogs.
And remind me, who's Sudachi based on?
Sudachi is based on the Doge meme, which, if you know, like, oh wow, like,
Oh yes,
wow, such. Let's see if I can find.
I like this, Robin. When adding a funny theme, I always say, "Why not?" Right? I'm starting
Yeah,
to
so this is the original Doge meme, and this
have
dog.
a share.
Yeah, this dog became. Oh, I'm not sharing anymore. I thought I was.
You're not sharing anymore.
Window.
You might be able to bring that back up.
There we go. This is
There
the
we
original
go.
Doge meme.
Perfect.
So this is Kabasu. She became internet famous because of this this photo, and she's the name of the Doge cryptocurrency is named after her. And I love her artwork. I love the let's pull out a
let's look at the art.
Yes.
It's really fantastic.
So here's a Sudachi, and I just love the envious glare on Sudachi's face. It's just wonderful.
Oh, that's great.
I watched so many of those this game.
Sudachi was a very bad dog today.
Very bad
dog
dog
today.
for the majority of the game. I really like this, the Paul Grave artwork, that like the little I forget what those are called. There's definitely
an ascot,
right? Something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you call it either, but it's
very fancy, very like, no wonder that he's very bad.
Paul Grave is too good to be walked.
Exactly.
They just won't allow it.
Oh, man.
And whose dog is? I keep forgetting them, but I think it's I blame the Pinot. But whose dog was Paul Graves?
Putin.
Putin's dog. A fitting end to the dog. Poor dog. It's not.
And so, Mattie, would you say, like, so we've played with 3 players just now. Can you play with 2 players? Or is there a
we lost
for 2
Mattie.
players? Oh, no. We'll never know the
Come
answer
back,
to the
Mattie.
question. No. I'm sure Mattie will be here momentarily.
There's Maddie's back. Welcome back.
Long button trying to unshare.
It was Putin. Putin was mad at me and struck out at you instead.
Oh, man.
All right. So there's a question for me. I missed it.
Yes, welcome back. It was for 2 players. Is there a 2-player variant, or is it just the same rules?
There is a 2-player variant. It's basically the same rules, but there's no shift leader. And because when there's a shift, the shift leader is a little bit too powerful in a 2-player game.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes one player doesn't know anything and the other player knows everything, and it just doesn't
That's not fun.
work great.
Mm-hmm.
But the 2-player game is really fun. It's just 1 round, and you play. Both players take turns giving each other clues.
Oh, okay.
And then rather than having an extra bad dog that the shift leader decides, the numbers are what breaks the ties on the cards.
Oh,
gotcha. That changes then, like the clue giving methodology. I feel like that one would use.
Yeah, it does change the game a little bit. That's one of the variants for the game, is to play. Originally, before I added the shift leader, it was just a 1-round game where everybody just took turns giving clues to everybody. And that's where the 2-player game really shines, is in that mode.
Gotcha. And what
so
about...
is it 2 to 4?
Oh.
It's 2 to 7.
Oh, 2 to 7. That's amazing.
Yeah, 7 is...
What a great range.
It is a longer game with 7 players, but it plays really interestingly because the information you have is very different. It's... you know so much more about other people's hands because of just everybody has 5 cards that you can see, and you can only not see your 5 and the shift leader's 5. So it just changes the strategy a little bit, and it's a lot of fun. But it is, like I said, it is a little bit longer since it's about 15 minutes a player.
Gotcha.
But it's still really fun. I enjoy it.
That's great to have that range of player count.
Mm-hmm. And so does 2 to 7 mean that there's at present there's no solo variant?
There's no solo variant. I haven't figured out how to make that work.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Solo it's
because like the whole point is you can't see what cards are in your hand, so you have to have something that tells you about your hand.
Right.
And I know solo's kind of the new hotness right now, but I've never been super into solo games personally. I have a couple of them that I play sometimes, but it's about the community, the group to me.
Agreed.
And yeah, like Robin just said, solo bluffing games are tough to make.
Right.
Yeah. Agreed. So do you guys know, I mean, no spoilers or anything, but do you know price point or what you're looking at for?
I do not know what our final price point is going to be yet. I probably should have asked that before but I forgot.
Oh no! Whenever they just sign up for
my publisher's working on that.
Notification.
We'll have it all figured out by the time the Kickstarter launches.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So you have done some online playtesting because that's where I got to.
Yes, I've done the Nun Pubs. I've done a couple of Protospiel onlines. I've played a little bit in the virtual tabletop testing Discord servers. There's all sorts of really good online playtesting servers on what is the site? Cardboard Edison lists a bunch of them. So I'm in a bunch of those.
Yeah, Cardboard Edison has a great resource. Is a great resource for that, and for contests and stuff. Yes. Did you ever submit Walking Doggos for contests, or did you just start pitching right away?
I kind of started Walking Doggos before I knew about the game design community and about contests and everything. I did submit it to the Mint Tin contest on the Game Crafter. Mm-hmm. I managed to make it fit in a Mint Tin, and
wow.
It's fine. I like the Mint Tin edition. It's a good game to keep in my pocket but I think the definitive edition is the one with the card stands and the cards and the tokens and everything is there that just makes it better.
Not to mention Hades. Hades.
Yes.
Everything is
so
better.
Fantastic.
Hades, yeah. And around how big are the cards going to be? Like playing cards?
They're poker size. I actually have a couple extras.
Ooh.
So those are the mopses that I printed that were not used in the game because they're 6, 7, and 8. There's only 5 mopses in the final game.
Okay, I was about to say those are some powerful mopses you have in your hand.
Looks fantastic.
Is
the artist new to board game art? Or?
Relatively. She did the Deck of Wonders card game. It was on Kickstarter last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was her first card game that she did design work for. She also does background artist work for the Archer TV show.
Oh, fun!
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to see like how many intersections of different fields people are in, whether they're doing art or game design or like rules writing or variant creation. There seems to be a decent amount of overlap, whether it's in board games or video games or just, TV. But that's cool that she's has been able to produce this artwork for this game.
Yeah, I'm really thrilled with her art. I love it.
And because I do like kind of similar to like Hades' hair, you have the kind of green either swirls or like the shapes are different depending on the dog. And so do you know, is there any particular like rhyme behind which dogs have which, or it's the artistic kind of design is how those got created?
That was all, as far as I know, that was all Lauren's doing. My understanding is that James gave Sapphire City. James is my publisher. He gave her really light descriptions of the dogs and their personalities, and then she ran with it.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
That's so awesome. So did the gameplay change at all with the retheming?
A little bit. Originally, it was basically the two-player game, the two-player variant and the short variant is what the game was when I pitched it to James. And when Sapphire City picked it up, it didn't have the shift leader. It didn't have the extra bad dog mechanic. It didn't have Cerberus. All of that was kind of built once I got that final theming. I was like, I'm going to run with this and see what I can do. And one of the pieces of feedback I got was that I should really focus on, like, before I was focusing on the short game because it just worked really well as a short game. And I was told that the long game variant should be like the star of the show. So I kind of started thinking about it that way, and that's how we got to where we're at.
Gotcha. And how
That's
was
marvelous. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just going to say, I really like the shift leader element a lot. So I think that's great that was part of grew out of the theme and your inspiration by that, because I really think that's a quite interesting. It changes your game experience. It's not like the same game experience every round for you. You have this round where you have a totally different game experience, which is really cool. I don't think that always happens. Certainly not in trick-taking games.
No, it's
you pretty much have the same experience for each round. But this one has that element that's great.
I kind of set out to break all the rules of a trick-taking game, which, like, I love trick-taking games. They're pretty much my favorite genre of card game. I grew up playing euchre with my family, so the crew is amazing because it just, like, it plays with all of your expectations of a trick-taking game. And when I came up with Heckin Hounds, I was like, I want, my first initial goal was to make a game about losing. I wanted a game where it didn't feel like you were trying to win. It felt like you were trying to lose. And then I came up with, well, what kind of game would you try to lose? And I was like, well, a trick-taking game. Why don't you try to lose tricks? And the game kind of grew from that.
That's so, because I kind of, in my mind, I'm going through the Rolodex of games that I own, and I'm like, games that I try to lose. I'm like, I can't think of any game that I would actively try to lose, whether it's a hand or, I'm
not sure if I succeeded at that original goal, but I came up with a game that was really fun. So I'm happy with it.
This has definitely been a lot of fun to play and figure out. Concur with Kirsten about the shift leader piece. It's nice that shifts between players too. So everyone has one turn where you can kind of see and know all, and then the other turns where you're trying to just figure it out and make your way through.
I agree with Robin that Hearts is sort of about trying to lose, and I think that's the rule you broke was that it's neither. It's not trying to lose or to do well. It's in between. It's threading the needle, which is so interesting.
One of my friends came up with the bidding mechanic and was like, what if you bid on the tricks you want to take? And that really was one of those other pieces of feedback that just really set the game off, because the bidding is what makes it interesting, having to, like, thread the needle with your bid. So it's been a journey from the original release, or my original design, to now. It's all sorts of feedback that kind of grew out of the initial idea.
I love that part of development, as it kind of grows and evolves. I was looking, we seem to be wrapping up. Does anybody know how to raid?
I
don't.
Definitely.
When we have Visionist, she can tell us how to raid.
Right.
I'm not too familiar with Twitch, so I'm not sure. I've never had enough viewers to do that.
I think I'm gonna look it up real quick because it'd be nice to raid someone before we log off for the rest of the evening or day, depending on where you are in the world.
Raid it.
And
I don't know. I know we tried it before.
okay.
Hashtag raid. Do I do that? Do we try and do that here? Or not hashtag, it's slash raid.
Yeah, slash raid, and then the channel that we want to raid. So
Who's live right now? Brothers Murph are live. I love the Brothers Murph.
None of the board game people I follow are live.
I'm gonna look and see if Ross or Joe.
I'm thinking Ross is probably asleep. Ross is in Britain, right?
True.
I know it's always tough for me to schedule with Dad's because Dad's in Britain as well.
Anyone in the chat, if any of your people that you follow, if you know they are live and would like us to raid their stream, feel free to throw it in the chat.
Yes.
Otherwise, if we don't get any, I think it might be the Brothers Murph or...
Let's see if we can figure that out. We can give them a go. First, we want to say, Sapphire Parlor noted that from the outside looking in, the shift leader looks all powerful, but then once you're the shift leader, knowledge isn't necessarily power. Yeah, Raven and I think both.
I demonstrated that very well.
Yeah, we both had regrets after we were done.
I was just like that whole like, oh no.
Yeah, you think you know exactly how the hand is going to play out, and then somebody plays a card you don't expect them to play, and it just ruins everything.
Right. That or gets rid of it and then gets mops, and so there's just no way that you're gonna be able to make them win off of those cards. There's also the Love Meeples. They have 6 viewers right now, and they're playing a role in something blocks. We can probably hop there. So why not? I'm gonna put their name in our chat because I think Chitty, it might be you who starts the either Chitty or Kirk.
I think I'm not sure which of us can do. Oh, she might be able to do it right from Twitch. We can both give it a go.
That would be what someone needs to type in. I put it in the private one. As we attempt to raid the channel before we hop over there, Mattie, thank you so much for being here today and showing us your game.
Thank you for having me. It's been a blast.
A ton of fun. These bad dogs.
And check out heckinhounds.com. Sign up for a mailing list. You'll hear more from us in the next month.
Awesome. Oh, can't wait. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, let's I'm gonna give that rating a try. Yes, and Robin is all signed up and ready. So I don't know. Let's give it a go. All right, thank you all for being here.
Yes. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mattie, so much for sharing Heckin Hounds with us.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.
Sapphire Parlor, thanks for coming too.
Okay, it says we have a raid in progress.
Awesome.
All right, so that'll round us up.